everyone, and welcome to an XTIVIA webinar, delivering the information you need for the business future you want. We're sharing our knowledge to help your business thrive in today's new normal. My name is Alex Killian, and I'm the video producer here on XTIVIA's marketing team. And today you'll be hearing from some of XTIVIA's API experts. Before we dive into the webinar this morning, I would love to tell you just a little bit about our company. For nearly 3 decades, we've been providing a variety of IT services to hundreds of businesses in countless industries. If you can imagine the business outcome, XTIVIA can create it with technology. And with that, I'll go ahead and pass it over to Bill Marcial.
Thank you for joining the API Gateway and API Management Overview. I'd like to start this session by defining what an API Gateway is. An API Gateway is the layer which separates client and services and performs several functions, such as routes API requests, aggregates API responses, ensures authentication, and security checks are done in one location. The other question I get asked a lot is, what are some of the benefits of an API Gateway? Well, there are several benefits of an API Gateway. One is it creates a layer of extraction where all requests are handled. Secondly, it's a secure gateway with a single point of entry. Third, data responses are aggregated, which helps in performance. Fourth, it reduces latency since multiple calls are no longer required to microservices, hence improving the user experience. Fifth, it validates data is in the correct format and ready for use by the client. And sixth is all about transformation. You can easily transform data with a couple of simple calls and get it in the required format for the client. So these are some of the benefits that I see that an API Gateway provides. The other question I get a lot is, why use an API Gateway and management solution? Well, I like to separate this into 2 different questions. Why use an API Gateway first? The reason I would use an API Gateway is because distributed systems are easy to implement. Loosely coupled services can be packaged easily into an application. Requests are routed from client to services. And fourth, API Gateway handles both authentication and rate limiting. The second part of the question here is, why use an API management? Why use API management? Well, in our experience, basically it's APIs tend to multiply in most organizations. So having an API management lifecycle framework is truly recommended for several reasons. One, in designing your APIs, implementing your APIs, monitoring your APIs, and discovering your APIs. Now, I'm currently displaying an API lifecycle management framework that XTIVIA has put in place, but you can use any one similar to this as long as it has all the different steps required for API lifecycle management, such as design, implementation, manage, monitor, and identification. What are some of the trends that XTIVIA is seeing in the market? To be honest with you, there are numerous trends that XTIVIA sees in the market. We're working with several different clients on implementing API management solutions. The one thing that we try to do is to ensure that when we're implementing any solution, we align to the client's business strategy and technology goals. However, clients tend to want solutions in 3 different buckets. All the implementations are really 3 different flavors. The first flavor is API management solutions, which utilize their platform integration tools such as Software AG, Apple G, or MuleSoft. The second flavor is more around native cloud API gateway solutions. And the third flavor is using open source API gateways. Basically, XTIVIA has worked extensively with clients implementing API management solutions. We've done it for the last couple of years. Throughout the last couple of years, we've actually compiled a list of best practices that we recommend to clients use when implementing API gateway solutions or API management solutions. The first recommendation we give is ensure your APIs are secure and perform optimally. Secondly is configure auditing, logging, and versioning. Third is share as little as possible. Fourth is consider running your gateway on a dedicated set of nodes. And fifth is, since the gateway is going to be a single point of failure and can be a potential bottleneck, you want to make sure that you implement a high availability solution when you're implementing an API management solution. Fortunately, we are fortunate today to have 3 SMEs that have a lot of experience in implementing API management solutions for various XTIVIA clients. So we have several questions from the audience. Let me start with the first question. What are the advantages of using an open source API gateway since there is constant change in the functionality available? Manny, would you like to take this question, please?
Oh, sure. So the advantages of open source API gateway when the change is constant, and in today's world, change is constant, right? And change is good. And what does that give you is a lot of innovation, right? In open source world is all about innovation, as I mentioned before. So you should not be shying away from implementing any new change, but rather you should be having a robust architecture, like kind of a microservices architecture, which kind of embrace the change in a way so that it's not impacting your organization. So your architecture is the key, and go for the microservices architecture, and then you whatever new feature you would like to take advantage of, do that version management or launch a separate API for that, so that you kind of isolating your change. That's what I would suggest. Hopefully that answers your question.
Oh, that's very good, Manny. Thank you so much. We have some other questions from the audience. Let me go to the next question. What is the recommended architecture when implementing an API gateway using a tool like MuleSoft and Apogee? Should we separate the gateway from the application? And what is the recommendation in handling internal versus external users? Titania, would you like to take this question, please?
Sure, Bill. Actually, this is a good question. Basically, this question contains two parts. First part is, do we need to separate API gateway from the application? Usually, this confusion may arise when we are using API gateway with microservice architecture style to establish communication between different microservices inside a data center. In this case, having separate API gateway deployment increases the number of hops between services. Also, there are chances for single point of failure. But it completely depends on where and how we are using API gateway. Whether we are using API gateway for horizontal flexibility or vertical flexibility. That means whether we are using API gateway to handle north-south traffic or to handle east-west traffic. If you are using API gateway to handle east-west traffic, which means service-to-service communication within a single data center as a sidecar pattern, it's the best to deploy API gateway along with the service or application. Usually, service mesh frameworks are better solution for east-west traffic in microservice architecture. Actually, API gateways are intended to handle north-south traffic, not the east-west traffic. They act as a reverse proxy between consumers and services or application deployed in the data center, and it abstracts the internal structure of services or applications. Since it is a single point of entry for all the consumer applications, it can intercept all consumer requests and apply necessary policies. Finally, what I would like to say here is, it is always better to separate the API gateway from the service or application implementations. This brings abstraction and loose coupling between the API implementations and API provisioning. To answer the second part of the question, which is, do we need separate API gateways for internal users and external users? As I said earlier, as part of different deployment scenarios of API gateway, having separate API gateways brings more flexibility. We can't have a single API gateway cluster to fulfill all the needs of an organization. While the number of APIs are being exposed by organization are growing and evolving based on many different requirements from the client apps, eventually it will be bloated because of those different needs. Finally, it will become as a big monolith application. That's the reason it's very much recommended to use multiple API gateways based on category of users or based on geographical location of the APIs being served, or based on type of consumer applications, or based on different regulatory compliance we need to support. Yeah, that's all. I hope I have clarified our questions, Bill.
Yeah, thank you, Chaitanya. That was great. We have one final question from the audience. Which native cloud vendor is most mature in their cloud offering, and why do organizations opt for a multi-cloud solution, considering the challenges of multi-cloud security? Karen, would you like to take this final question, please?
Yeah, sure, Bill. So the question consists of which one is most mature. We cannot pick and choose one out of other because every cloud vendor has their own unique features. For example, if you are running hybrid model, say some of your APIs are running in on-premise and some of the infrastructure is still there in on-premise, then I say better go for Azure because Azure has very good network. Azure can able to easily penetrate to on-premises and have a very good network setup over there. But if you want to have a very good monetizing system where you generate invoices and you process all the payments related to the API processor, then I say go for Google's API G. And Amazon has its own reason to go because because Amazon is a long-term player, so many infrastructure is already there on AWS. So I said better if you are already using AWS, then why you switch for other cloud native APMs. And moreover, Amazon is again in API gateway also, it's a long-term player, so it has its own benefits with respect to many other internal backend scenarios. But there is one more specialized feature, like for example, still if you ask like what is the best out of these three, then I say if I have to pick, then I will pick Google's API G because it has gone a step ahead in terms of data transformation and in terms of, as I said already, monetization. So yeah, I choose Google over other two vendors, Amazon and Azure, with choosing the cloud native API maturity. Whereas coming to the next part of the question, which is multi-cloud deployments. Say sometimes enterprises have to go to multi-cloud another vendor apart from their primary cloud vendor, because in that particular region, say their primary cloud vendor is not operating, then they have to choose other cloud vendor. And also for many other reasons, say for financial benefit, they are getting in other cloud vendor, they are getting some good deal for their particular point of solution for the particular point of time. Then they have to go for another cloud, not apart from their primary, they have to go for another cloud vendors. And we have to identify the situation ahead and align our security, monitoring, and also DevOps process, because these three are something which has to be unique for your enterprise. I mean to say, when you have a monitoring system different for each other, then it becomes very hard for their operation team to constantly run their day-to-day tasks. And also DevOps process. So I say these three, security and DevOps and your monitoring needs has to be gone for something non-cloud solutions. So like say open source or some third-party vendors. So and also you have to identify the situation and align even the configuration which comes in the DevOps, configuration management, where you have to, so say for example, down in the line you want to upgrade, then you should be able to easily do it with your DevOps process on the multi-cloud environments. So yeah, I hope I answered your question, Bill.
Yeah, you did. Thank you very much, Karen. This concludes our session of API Gateway Management overview. If you have any further questions, please contact us. The contact information is below. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining our webinar this morning. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're happy to answer all your questions. And as a reminder, this webinar and all of our previous webinars will be available in our on-demand webinar library on our website. And you can look forward to a new XTIVIA webinar the 4th Thursday of every month. And if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can check out all of the other resources we have going. We've got some really informative demo pieces and a lot of great content coming out. So check it out. And thanks for joining us this morning.